Darren. Thanks for stopping by. I've got two quick functions for you today in Excel, the find and the search functions. The two functions are actually almost identical. The only difference between them is that find is case sensitive and search is not case sensitive. So let's take a look at how these work. So if we have this and I'm looking for B, for example. So if I do find, then I want letter B and within A1. And that tells me that B is in character position number 2. But if I bring this down here, it's not found. And the reason it's not found is because there is no lowercase b in there. And that gives you a value error. There are ways of handling the error. Uh, but this just tells you that it's not actually there. Now, if we copy it down to here, this tells you that the lowercase b is in the 8th position. So those first 6 are all uppercase, so those don't count. So let's try find or search instead. So if we do search, and again, we'll look for the same B here, and within A1, and it's still in position 2. But here, because search is not case sensitive, it's also in position number 2. And here, it's still in position number 2. Again, search is not case sensitive, find is case sensitive. That's the only difference. As I was typing this, you may have noticed that there's actually a third parameter available for both of these, which is the starting position. So let's say that I want to find, let's do find within, what text do I want? Let's say I want to find an A this time. And I want to start at position, let's see, within A4, but I want to skip the first position. I'll start at position number 2. And now that tells me that the first A it finds, and remember, we started at position number 2 here. The first A it finds is in position number 3, because it's A, which doesn't count. B is where it starts looking, and then it gets to A. And search does exactly the same thing. Search, so if I want A4, and starting in position 2, it comes up the same way. And you can actually nest these as well. And that can sometimes be useful. And all of this is really only useful if you're doing text parsing. So let's say, if I can type this one right today, I want to do find, and I'm looking for the first A that happens. Um, well, I'm going to nest these functions here in a second, but let's say I'm looking for the first A that happens after the first D. So to start off, you have to find the first D within A5. And that's at position 4, right? Okay. So now if I use that as my starting position, so I can just edit this. So now I want to find the first A within A5, starting at that position of the first D. And that's position 7, which is A, B, C, D, E, F, A. So that's the correct one there. So that's a way, for example, you can find the first occurrence of uh, John after the first comma in an address list. Because so you have last name, comma, first name. You don't want to find somebody with a last name that includes John. You don't want Johnson. You only want people with the first name of John, and that's why you'd have this. Uh, and search has the same syntax there. So that's about all there is to it for search and find. If you're doing text parsing and you're trying to split stuff up, you'll use these a lot. You'll use the finds to say, where's the comma? Oh, there's a comma. Okay, so I'll split this here. You'll have, you might have zip codes. You'll drip this piece off the end and then come in from this side, whatever. Um, so that's where you'd use this, as in text parsing. Hopefully that explains stuff pretty well. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. If you like the video, be sure to hit like, subscribe to the videos to see more. Also, I have a Patreon page I've just set up at patreon.com/data analysis excellence. Thanks for stopping by.